everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Carson Wentz's Eagles going up against Cousins' Redskins.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Play clock down at 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And the wideout in motion. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
First down, here's Cousins. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Cousins choosing to back away from the line and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rushers, Jamal Charles on the carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Again, it's Charles. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
A 1st down carry here for Charles. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Second down following the run. Play clock winding down. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Time running out here on the play clock. Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Go Wentz to Blunt here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now Cousins. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
On second down, Cousins again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll begin here with Blunt. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So we've got a second and 5. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. Here's Wentz to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Blunt. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, here's Blunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Throwing is Wentz. And that's caught by Smith. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
On the run, it's Pumphrey looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And it's a fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Wentz now to throw. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On now is Vinatieri as he'll try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll make it 2nd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Screen pass to Charles. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? They
start on the ground with Pumphrey. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now Wentz. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On the toss, this is Blunt. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wentz. The open man is Smith. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Red zone opportunity. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And the back goes into motion. Wentz now on first down. The quick slant caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. They'll go to Blunt. Try and pound it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. LeGarrette Blunt in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Redskins now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second half starts with a run by Jamal Charles, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Jamal Charles on 3rd down. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now a handoff. This is Charles. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
On third down, that's Charles. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Fasano here brings it in. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And the play clock's running down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Redskins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Here's Charles. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. On first down, it's Charles again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 3rd down, that's Charles. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. from the ground. It's Thompson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 7 yards on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. It'll be Charles again. He has been the workhorse tonight. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
They'll hand it off. This is Charles. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
From the 2-yard line now, it's first and goal. They'll let Charles try and get him in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jamal Charles, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business.
And Blunt loses the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They'll run again with Blunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Ertz over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he motions the wide receiver. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the play. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And no, it's incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Play clock winding down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. First down, here's Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cousins now on 2nd down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jordan And Hicks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They start on the ground here with Blunt. Pushes him over. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a toss play to Blunt. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
To throw is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Second down now after the incompletion. So the D-line's going to spread out. Wentz. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz to throw. He's going to let this thing go deep for LaFell. And this is going to be intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And that changes everything here in OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They begin the drive with Charles. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. design run for their wideout. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Third and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. The play clock's running down. Throwing is Cousins. It's caught to Charles. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Redskins, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.